For more on this, we're joined from our Cape Town studio by co-head of research at Equal Education, Renee McFarlane. Renee, thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
If I can just begin with this, I know that one of the issues that Equal Education had raised is the fact that it's quite worrying that you still have children who cannot read with comprehension.
Definitely, you know, and it's really hard to listen to the minister announce a 80%, almost 80% pass rate, and not acknowledge that it's not a good indicator of the overall quality of our basic education system. When just about a year ago we heard that, you know, as you said, around 80% of grade 4 learners can't read for meaning in any language, it's a clear indication that, you know, there's still an incredible challenge in our education system. And of course we must celebrate where we are achieving, but it almost feels disingenuous that the minister didn't spend more time talking to those challenges and also acknowledging that between 40 and 50% of learners drop out before they even reach matric. So to just take the percentage of learners who wrote the matric exams as some sort of indicator of the quality of our education system is just entirely misleading. But that being said, we mustn't lose sight of the fact that, you know, for those learners who've passed matric, it is an incredible moment and it does open up important opportunities for them. And we must congratulate them and their teachers and parents for an incredible achievement.
And staying on that note, Renee, sorry, I just have to come in there. Staying on that congratulatory note, what are some of the things that the Basic Education Department is getting right?
You know, one of the things that I think has been important in Minister Motshekga's tenure is that she's been able to bring some stability in terms of the curriculum. We had a period where we were changing the curriculum every now and again, and for the past 6 or 7 years we've had the same curriculum, which really allows the system to build some experience and for teachers to build some experience in teaching that curriculum. So that's been an important development. We've also seen the minister really emphasizing data, and the data the data that's publicly available has improved significantly during the time that she's been minister, both on things like school infrastructure and on learning outcomes. And she's insisted that we continue participating in these international tests, which often tell us things that we don't really want to hear. They don't necessarily make the education system look good, but it's good that we have access to that data to better understand what's happening in the system. And I think specifically in this matric exams, an important development has been the introduction of South African Sign Language as a home language subject. It's an important moment to start talking more about inclusion in education, and I think it's a great initiative by the department, and hopefully we'll talk more about how the system can be more inclusive in future. But that's an important development. And then just finally to say about the international tests that South Africa participates in, one of it's the Trends in Maths and Science study. And South Africa has been the country that showed the greatest improvement in those tests, although from a very low base. We're not near the top performing countries, but we have to acknowledge that there is some improvement there, and that's encouraging. In the literacy study that I referred to earlier, South Africa also improved between 2006 and 2011 quite significantly, but then between 2011 and 2016 there was hardly any improvement, and that still raises serious concerns.
And Renee,
obviously, as I said,
Sorry, just to come in there, Renee, if I can just ask you quickly, while we stay on the issue of non-improvement, there's also this concern that always lags, you know, behind each and every single year, the issue of those pupils that begin grade 1 but do not get to complete grade 12. What does government need to do to make sure that we get the retention right? If we can just ask you to just quickly sum that up for us.
Yeah, It's a really critical issue, and it's really a criminal that we haven't been able to sort that out. And the root cause is the foundation phase. The learning that happens in the foundation phase, when gaps emerge in that phase, they only escalate as learners move through the system, and they contribute to the likelihood of learners dropping out later in the system as those gaps start catching up with them. So it's critical that we have to address the foundation phase learning for our country to move forward in terms of education.